Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. The very court in which the SEC vs. Ripple case is to be tried has already made a determination about what constitutes a sufficiently decentralized network as it pertains to blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And safe to say, as you shall see, that XRP and the XRP ledger certainly fell within the definition put forth by the court. And so, again, what I'm about to share with you, this determination was made before the SEC began going after Ripple legally. And Attorney John Deaton shared these specifics on Twitter just yesterday, so I want to run through this and explain exactly what this means with a certain level of detail. And I think you're going to find this very fascinating because it comes down to decentralization, and you might be surprised to see just how little power Ripple actually has, and how they actually seriously could lose everything. And I'm talking about their XRP holdings. Also, there's this article from Finance Feeds titled, Ripple Brings Fight to Lawmakers to Put an End to SEC Hostility. So plenty to talk about here, but before going any further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So again, as you'll see as we go through this, the court has already made things very clear. And so here's a very short thread from Attorney John Deaton. Why is the below point an important one as it relates to the court's Howey analysis? Let me just pause. What's he pointing at here? That's a story about how Ripple could be forced to burn their XRP, which of course is worth tens of billions of dollars currently. Forced to burn. Now, that's not quite the appropriate way to word it. It's not that they'd be the ones burning it. It's more like it would just be burnt. Because that you'll see what I'm talking about as I go through this. But anyway, so again, the question, why is the below point an important one as it relates to the court's Howey analysis? Because the Southern District of New York Court held the following. And listen up, because this is a quote from the court, where the SEC versus Ripple case is being tried. Cryptocurrencies are a lawful means of storing or transferring value and may fluctuate in value as any commodity would. A cryptocurrency utilized by members of a decentralized community connected via blockchain technology, which itself is administered by this community of users rather than by a common enterprise, is not likely to be deemed a security under the familiar test laid out in Howey. End quote. Now, you might already be aware of why this is incredibly relevant. Again, it's, mind you, same freaking court here, all right? The XRP ledger is sufficiently decentralized. And so John Deaton wrote the following. Thus, if 80% of the validators vote to burn Ripple's XRP, and if there's nothing Ripple can do to stop it, then XRP and the XRP ledger meet the very definition articulated by the very court where the case is presiding. Hashtag XRP wins. And he's not kidding. This is why I keep saying, like, when this is all said and done, it will be proven that Ripple and XRP holders are on the right side of history. It could not be more clear. This is more than just some sort of a tiny overreach of the SEC. They're devastating holders of XRP holders and frankly, holders of any cryptocurrency, like the world over. And mind you, it's certainly worse for XRP holders because SEC's going after Ripple, but that had global implications for the price of XRP. So it's not just people in the United States. And if the SEC wins, what is not a security? Everybody out there that has no interest in XRP whatsoever, even if they hate XRP, fine. I think that doesn't make any sense, but that's fine. Even if they hate XRP, whatever they do like, whatever the cryptos they hold dear, they're at risk here. And so that's why this is so crucial. And so take a look at this story. This was from June of this year from AMB Crypto, titled, It is really in Ripple's best interest to behave because... ... And I want to run through this. So I've got comments in this article from Matt Hamilton, who is a Ripple employee. And after this, I've also got a comment on this very topic from David Schwartz, who is Ripple's CTO, and he's also one of the three creators of XRP and the XRP ledger. So check this out. Ripple Labs, its executives, and XRP have consistently been on the radar over the past 6 months, primarily because of the ongoing lawsuit against the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. What's more, the hostility between XRP holders and the rest of the crypto community has been evident on platforms like Twitter. In fact, many have raised concerns over XRP's apparent centralization. Say, if Ripple decides to, hypothetically, give up everything it possesses and disappear one day, would it really affect the XRP market? Well, in a recent interview with Crypto Jeb, Matt Hamilton, director of developer relations at Ripple, set the record straight by elucidating on the market implications if Ripple ever decides to shed off its XRP holdings. As a matter of fact, Ripple securely holds the lion's share that comprises 55 billion XRP, but a major chunk of it, over 47 billion, has been placed in escrow to alleviate the concerns that surround its supply. On any given day, if Ripple wishes, it can back off and vanish with the profits after selling the XRP it holds. However, the presence of tokens in escrow would not pave the way for the blockchain company to sell its entire share of 55 billion tokens. Even if the company decides to shed 1 billion tokens for that matter, it would hit the market hard. Elaborating on the scale of the hypothetical impact, Matt Hamilton said the following. Actually, before I read the quote, just to be clear, there's 1 billion XRP that comes out of Ripple's escrow every single month, and the vast majority, month after month to this point, the vast majority just goes back into a new escrow, so it just keeps rolling back to the back end. So a little bit of it gets sold, but never enough where we're able to see any sort of impact on the global price of XRP. But what if Ripple actually was like, yeah, we're just going to sell this entire unlocked escrow, the 1 billion XRP, we're just going to sell it all. Like right now, we're just going to hammer the market. We're doing it right now. Well, Matt Hamilton, Ripple employee, said the following. Yes, that would have an effect in the same way if Michael Saylor suddenly decided that I'm wrong on this. I'm joining Peter Schiff and I'm going to sell all my Bitcoin and buy gold. Michael Saylor, of course, referenced there. That's the founder and CEO of MicroStrategy, who is a Bitcoin maximalist, and his company has an insane amount of Bitcoin. And good for them. I'm happy that they're doing that. It's a positive for the crypto space. All for it. But they're a whale. They're a Bitcoin whale for sure. And so if they suddenly want it out, that would certainly have a dramatic impact on the global price of Bitcoin. That's just the truth. And there are whales in the world of XRP and Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's whales all over the place. And it's easy for there to be whales, given that there's not much money in crypto right now. The markets are not particularly liquid. And so that's just the nature of things. But as markets mature, it's going to be much more difficult to actually be a whale. Anyway, piece continues. Whales have time and again placed a considerable amount of influence on the Bitcoin market. Nonetheless, apart from Bitcoin whales, even XRP whales have been pretty active of late. As can be observed from the attached chart, their transaction count has seen a series of noteworthy spikes over the last few days. Further commenting on the consequences that would follow if Ripple dumped its holdings, the executive went on to say the following. And this is where it gets interesting. This is highly relevant to what John Deaton tweeted out that I just shared with you, what he tweeted out just yesterday. Check this out. This is from Matt Hamilton. Now, if Ripple does that, the rest of the community would band together and pass an amendment on the network. They could get together and say, we're going to effectively burn the rest of Ripple's escrow holdings. And so, folks, that is absolutely true. That can happen. And so if Ripple's going to try and dump on the market, they get to do it one time and then probably never again. Because I have a feeling how the community would respond. And here's another quote from Hamilton. If they dump 1 billion, the rest of the 54 billion would be burnt. So it is really in Ripple's best interest to behave. Exactly. So as long as they continue to be have a positive impact within the XRP ecosystem, nobody in the community would want this to happen. They're a force for good within the XRP ecosystem. But the point is, there's nothing they could do about it. It's sufficiently decentralized, and given that's the case, and this is again what the court said, Southern District of New York, it's provably the case that XRP and the XRP ledger fit within the definition of what would not be a security. So that's why I'm saying, like, if justice is done, there's just no way in hell that history ends up not proving that we're on the right side of things. Now into this next piece from Finance Feeds. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I told you I wanted to cover this this is real short anyway, from David Schwartz. A user on, this is from a different article. This is an article, it's actually on CoinMarketCap's website. This is the one that was shared via John Deaton's thread. And anyway, there's just one little piece I wanted to share here. A user on the social network had asked, quote, if nodes, validators, and the community at large got together and we agree that it's better for the community to burn the 50 billion XRP that Ripple has in escrow, would it be possible? End quote. David Schwartz, Ripple's chief technology officer, subsequently admitted that such a scenario could happen, assuming that the community could get the votes. He wrote the following. This is a quote. There would be nothing Ripple could do to stop that from happening. Public blockchains are very democratic. If the majority wants a rules change, there is nothing the minority can do to stop them. End quote. Just a matter of fact, folks, that's how it is. That's another reason that, like, people talk about, oh my God, it's just some sort of at some point, Ripple's going to exit stage left, and all the people holding XRP, they're just going to be left with that. No. They have the most to lose, and they can't dump everything on the market. They could dump a substantial portion once, and then they're just screwed. That wouldn't be in their best interest here. And so that's why, for me, I've never seen it as a negative that Ripple has so much XRP. I just don't care. And if they ever decide for any reason they want to unilaterally burn a bunch of their XRP, if they think that'll help them for any reason or help the XRP ecosystem, whatever it may be, okay, fine. Either way, I don't feel like I'm at risk as an XRP holder. I mean, other than, if they do make some massive XRP dump one time, okay, fine, okay, you got me. But again, it's not like XRP is going to go away. It's used for all sorts of other stuff anyway. It's one of the most liquid cryptocurrencies on the planet. It would survive. And then Ripple would just have a bad day afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not worried about it, folks. I'm really not. All right, next piece. Ripple brings fight to lawmakers to put an end to SEC hostility. So Ripple has released a paper that calls on regulators, lawmakers, and the industry to come up with a framework for the ecosystem. And here's a quote. Cryptocurrency and blockchain technology need clear regulatory and licensing frameworks designed to address and remedy the specific challenges to our industry. All of the proposed measures discussed in this framework aim to provide legal clarity to industry, markets, and consumers in a way that a regulation by enforcement approach simply cannot. And that's a quote from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Now, Ripple mentions the Securities Clarity Act, or SCA for short, which proposes a new term, investment contract asset. It makes clear that such assets should be considered separate and distinct from any securities offerings they may have been a part of. The Digital Commodity Exchange Act, or DCEA for short, which is complementary to the SEC, seeks to create a federal definition of digital commodity exchanges and charges the CFTC with authority to register and oversee them, similar to the requirements in commodity derivatives markets. The blockchain specialist is also backing SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce's sandbox idea, under which network developers would be exempt for 3 years from the registration provisions of federal securities laws, during which time they would be allowed to launch their products and develop their networks through token transactions. So, folks, the reason that's important is because, like, Hester Peirce, she's acknowledging that, I would say, any cryptocurrency at exception, it is centralized. Like, if there's an exception to that, tell me what it looks like, and okay, fine, that'd be an interesting conversation to have. But when a cryptocurrency is launched, there is a central authority. Like, there's somebody in charge, right? And then it can become more decentralized over time. And so the safe harbor provision here, it recognizes that and says, okay, it's just part of the nature of launching a new token, but in recognition of that. Because look, if we don't allow that, then you just can't have new tokens. So in recognition of that, let's allow it, but only in a way that you can come into compliance with securities laws, meaning that as time passes, if you're going to stick around for the long haul, over 3 years, you have to become sufficiently decentralized, which makes all the sense in the world. And without that, you really can't launch a new cryptocurrency in the United States. That's effectively how things look as a result of what the SEC has done. Anyway, Peace continues though. If network maturity has been achieved at the conclusion of the 3-year period, token transactions would not trigger securities registration requirements under SEC Purse's proposal. Excuse me. The current uncertainty in the U.S. regulatory landscape discourages innovation and could cause a brain drain in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space in order to incentivize innovation and inform the development of a clear and consistent regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies. We believe innovation sandboxes should be encouraged, and that's Hester Peirce there again. And mind you, Gary Gensler, who is the supreme leader, right? Kim Jong-Gary, running the SEC. He hasn't even bothered to read Commissioner Peirce's idea for safe harbor. That tells you all you need to know about his incentives, right? His motive. Completely ridiculous. I'll go ahead and wrap up there, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.